Welcome to Fed Families. I'm Randy Walters, and outside of our usual setting, for this broadcast, we're in Pikeville overlooking the cut here, the huge cut, and overlooking Pikeville. And where we are is a beautiful park, and it would come under the category of mountaintop mining.
Mountaintop development. Randy, it's good to have you over at Pike County.
Great, thank you. And our guest is Roger Ford, and Roger is a candidate for state representative in the 94th district here in Pike, Letcher, and Harlan counties. And I know we got a lot of Harlan Countyans over there that tune into Fed Families. Hey guys, coal miners over there, they know to look to us.
Absolutely.
And they know that what we're telling them is straight up, because we've never done anything to give them any reason not to believe what we're telling them.
Absolutely.
And they look and see it too. It's a matter of just common sense. You look at the developments that we have in these mountains, and you look at the price of level land, and in Perry County, where we usually do our broadcasts, the price of an acre of level land, business land, is $1.2 million. So
Absolutely.
Tell me that this is not a valuable commodity
It's
that
a
we've
valuable
got.
commodity, and we don't have enough of it.
No.
And if it were left up to Louisville and Lexington, and to representatives and state senators down there, state senators like Kathy Stein,
Oh Lord.
queen of the anti-coal movement in the Kentucky State Senate and in the General Assembly, we wouldn't have any of this, because
No.
she sponsors the Stream Saver bill every year that wants to stop this type of mountaintop development. You know, I don't want to call it mountaintop removal. You know,
It's development.
It's development, and we're standing on, you know, as part of the cut through here. This area here was developed as part of this massive road construction project. And if you look at what's done here and go to a surface mine site and look at a surface mine site, the very types of activities that go on in road construction, the very types of cuts and valley fills and those things that we benefit from having big 4-lane highways and good roads to drive on, those are the same types of methods that are used on mountain development sites, on surface mines. And why it's okay for Lexington to go through that beautiful bluegrass country out there and cut wide swaths for big fine roads, but that's not okay for us to get some level land up here to where we can put some airports and a federal prison and those sorts of things.
Right, and you just heard the sirens?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's not just the roads they make those big swaths for in Lexington, Louisville, it's shopping centers.
Yeah.
All right? Now, if that was an ambulance going to help somebody, then that family is going to benefit from the cuts that have been made, because it allowed a road to be built that could get that ambulance to them in a decent amount of time.
Absolutely. You know, when my dad was going to college, he worked for Perry Justice. He was the Pike County Sheriff. Perry had the Justice Funeral Home. He was the Pike County Sheriff at the time, and he also had an ambulance service at the time. They let, you know, as you know, they let ambulance services operate out of funeral homes.
Right.
I guess they got you coming and going. But but Dad drove an ambulance for Perry, you know, and he would work at the funeral home to help work his way through college. And when he would go on an ambulance call, say to Virgie or somewhere, well, it'd take him hours to get there. And you know, from where we're standing right now, we could get on this 4-lane because of the highways that we now have, and we could be in Williamson, West Virginia in 30 minutes, and it used to take you an hour and a half or 2 hours to get there. So progress, and Dorton even, Virgie, 45 minutes, and depending on if you've got behind some coal trucks, could be longer. And so it's not a matter of not only jobs, it's a matter of, you know, basic services, health care, and getting people who are in a health crisis to get the medical care they need in a faster way. And so, you know, these are the things you're talking about. You know, these are the things that I want to bring to the forefront. You know, I don't want to go down there to get along with Kathy Stein and some of those people in Lexington.
Oh, she's
Louisville.
a peach.
Yeah,
she's
a peach. You know, she's the one.
Oh.
She is the queen that wants to put everybody out of business up here.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to go down there to get along with Kathy Stein. What I want to do is go down there and represent my district, and to help us develop these mountaintop sites. And that's one of the things, Randy, that you and I have talked about. I've proposed is that, and Judge Rutherford has taken up the cause, along with Senator Jones and W. Keith Hall, the state senator and state representative from here. They want to use and set aside some land and work with the coal companies to develop some of this mountaintop sites into residential developments for people that live in the floodplain, like those people that were recently struck in Coon Creek and Harless's Creek and Winds Branch and the Burning Fork over there around Zebulon, is to enable those people and to help those people rebuild their lives and to get them out of the daily fear of living in a flooded area. And we can do this on these mountaintop sites. I mean, you can look right out over here on the other side. Now, there's some big fine homes over here that's a gated community where Leslie has fundraisers at. You know, they live up on top of the mountain. You know, why is it that the coal miner and the secretaries and those people that help pay for these big mansions on the hill, why can't they have that same safety and security that these people have?
Another thing, too, to deal with the family issues, okay, is abortion.
Yeah.
And Kathy Stein, I know you're not running against Kathy, but in a way you are, because she and Leslie Combs are apparently very close. And Kathy says that the ultrasound tests are fetal seances. Hello? If that's how you look at life, then well, that would explain why you were so much against us here.
It devalues human life. You know?
Right.
And I'm 100% pro-life. You know, I'm supported by the Kentucky Right to Life Association. And the reason that I am is because of bills like Senate Bill 38, the ultrasound informed consent bill. And this bill, folks, would simply do one thing, is before a woman could go have an abortion, that they would require her to have an ultrasound. And you say, well, is this new? No, this is not new, because statistics and facts show that in states, other states that have passed this type of legislation, it cuts the number of abortions annually by about a third or better. In Kentucky, we have about 4,500 abortions every year. Every year. If we had this bill, we could save approximately 1,500 unborn children every year. And in 4 years that Leslie Combs has been in the General Assembly as state representative, that would mean we could have saved 6,000 unborn children. Now, I point out the ultrasound bill because the ultrasound bill is Senate Bill 38. It was sent over to the House of Representatives. That bill was set into a committee, and the committee voted on it, and it got in a position to where they could have had a discharge petition. A discharge petition is what, if you get enough legislators to sign that petition, they can force that bill to be brought out to a full vote of the House. And folks, if that bill were brought out to a full vote of the House, it had already passed the Senate. It was sent over to the House, and if Leslie Combs would have signed the discharge petition, if she would have stood up for the unborn and signed that petition, that would have helped that bill come out and been brought to a full vote of the House, and I'm confident that bill would have been passed. And if I go to Frankfort as your next state representative, I will sign bills, I will sign discharge petitions and sponsor bills like Senate Bill 38 to bring them out and get them made into law so that we can protect the unborn.
All right. Now here's the problem, and it's so typical of what has gone on nationally, going on in Kentucky. The American Family Association, the Family Foundation of Kentucky, Tea Party groups were all for getting this passed. They had a major campaign to get this thing passed. And the representatives in our own house in Kentucky wouldn't do it. They would not do that. Now, those people that think that these groups aren't the groundswell of our country and of our state need to take a look at what happened to Trey Grayson when Rand Paul came along and they jumped on the bandwagon with him. I'm telling you, there's going to be some changes, and there needs to be, because our representatives don't seem to be listening to the people, and Leslie's one of them.
Absolutely. And I mean, and again, it comes back to unaccountable, ignoring the people's voice, just like on Senate Bill 38. And I know a lot of people here on Senate Bill 38. I know a lot of the very people you're talking about here that supported that bill, that wanted that bill passed, and their voice went unanswered.
Oh yeah, it does.
And I can tell you, I will vote for bills such as Senate Bill 38 to protect the unborn. I think it's very important to be pro-life. That's just something that's close to my heart. And as a state representative, I'm going to represent the values, the interests of the people of my district on that bill. And it comes back to another issue, the casino gambling bill. Again, the same thing. The people were ignored. She went down there and voted for the governor's bill to cram casino gambling down the throats of the people of Kentucky. And I won't do that. I'm opposed to that. If we're going to have that issue come to discussion in the state of Kentucky, it needs to be you and I and the voters decide. The people ought to have the final say on whether or not we have casino gambling, because I am opposed to casino gambling in the form that Leslie Combs is trying to impose on the people of Kentucky.
Right.
And it's not just because of social concerns. It's a jobs issue. You know, why she has abandoned and has failed to stand up for bills and resolutions like HCR 10, the Kentucky Firearms Freedom Act, things that would help Kentucky stand up to an out of control federal government. She thinks that abandoning coal and failing to defend it forcefully, I guess the idea is that we don't need good paying coal jobs. We would rather have low-wage, dead-end casino gambling jobs where our kids are basically taught down here in grade school to count no higher than 21 and to understand that there's 52 cards in the deck and how to deal a deck of cards and how to count to 21. You know, if that's the idea of job creation, that's not my idea of job creation. My idea of job creation is to defend coal jobs, oppose casino gambling and all the social problems that it brings with it, and that's why I'm running for office.
All right. Listen, I don't claim to know everything, and it would be stupid for me to do so. But at Fed Families, what we try to do is look out for the interests of our families in this area and across the state. And it's quite obvious that Leslie Combs is not looking out for the interests of the people in the coal fields, the Fed families, or anybody else. She's looking out for her own. Hey, listen, we've enjoyed being here and doing the broadcast from here today, and want to invite you to stay tuned to Fed Families. We'll have more coming up, and want to also tell you that yes, we are endorsing Roger Ford for representative of the 94th District. See you later.